Well, guys, that was a much better game than it was on Tuesday night when the Stars sleptwalked their way through a game in Anaheim. But they don't get the win tonight, but they do get a point as we welcome you to the DLLS Dallas Stars post-game show and very much Stars After Dark because we threw Nestler in the bathroom just like he threatened.
My office.
Oh, here we go. Luds, we have to deal with this already.
Just expedite it.
All right, let's move right along here, folks. We got to, well, he says expedite as if we don't have to do an hour-long show. So we could go super fast. Hey, they scored 5-4, good night, and then sit here and stare at each other for 59 minutes. He's Craig Ludwig. Sam Nestler, you guys are drinking very different beverages from different containers. Sam is at least efficiently in the same place where he has to excavate said liquids later, so you don't even know, but you better mute yourself before you do that on the camera. And I'm Owen Newkirk. Kat is wondering why she ever agreed to help us as we are here well past midnight for a game in which the Stars played much better against the Kings, but ultimately lost in a shootout. Luds, we have a lot to get to, a lot of goals to talk about. We have some pictures to show. And when you just sort of overarch this thing, how are you feeling after this one?
Well, before you came on, I was telling Sam, this seems like a game just before you head out to All-Star break. You know, it's kind of a sloppy game, and you're trying to get it over with, and you want to get out of there. It didn't get off to a good start. LA came out, like a home team would. Dallas had to catch up, and, Dallas does what they do. I mean, they find pockets of the game where they can rally a little bit, and it was just kind of like give it, get it, give it, get it, give it back.
I'm laughing because they're calling Sam Super Mario now because he's a plumber. You could call him Luigi if you'd prefer, but we have yet another name for the destroyer of toilets and all things sinks. What are you doing?
Huh?
Oh, for God's sake.
My
Hey,
computer's down here. I'm chatting.
We're on the air. It doesn't look good when you're bent over like that in the
here.
bathroom, does it? Yeah, that's much better. No, keep it like that. It's good. All right, let's get right to it. We don't need Sam anyway. He can worry about the toilets. Let's start with 11 seconds into the game. What the heck happened here is the Kings scored the very first goal before most people even settled into their recliners.
Yeah, it was a little discombobulated. For me on that one, it's a 3-on-3 when it gets down below the faceoff dots. I think Rupe's got to turn the puck carrier over to Thomas Harley there. Harley's got to kind of read it, and then you're in the middle. I don't think Ceci did anything wrong. There was a puck that's coming to the front of the net. Ultimately, Thomas is kind of caught in the middle, and Rupe's not doing a ton. That's it.
How about that photo? Hey, Kat, can you throw that first LA Kings goal screenshot? Because Luddy has a story to tell. There it is. This is moments before Warren Fogle scores. Why are there 3 Dallas Stars over on the left side there?
It's called prior to this, it's called being attracted to the puck. And everybody's staring at the puck. And that's where the last guy I blame, to be honest with you, is Ceci on this, because prior to him getting the puck, it's down behind the goal line, and Ceci has to take the guy that he's standing with, and he does that. But that's why I said I think that Rupe and Harley, right when it gets below the top of the circle, Hintz starts going to the same player that Harley's going to, and and I think Harley's the one that's kind of caught in the middle. I think if Hintz just turns him over to Harley, he goes down behind the goal line, Hintz takes the late guy, none of this probably happens. But again, it's kind of like I see a guy and I'm staying with that guy, and next thing you know, there's no guy.
Now, sometimes there are instances where the pressure and in-your-face style that the Stars' defensive system plays works really well and causes fits. This is the other side, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it works as long as you're doing it immediately. But when it was very slow developing, so to speak, when it comes over the blue line. And nobody was really defined. Nobody was going to anybody at that time. And that's why I said, if this is one of the times I think you have to get off your man-to-man, and Hintz just says, here, take him. I got this guy, and then we're fine. But 2 guys end up on one right off the bat, And that's where the breakdown starts to happen.
The Stars were really pretty pathetic in the first period until the last couple of minutes. And they had a flurry of chances where it started by Jamie Benn with a wrapper on the Granlund, and Wyatt Johnston had a shot that was saved by Rittich, who was falling down when he made the save, or maybe already sitting down. Granlund had another one. Dumba took a slap shot, and then Matt Duchene scored on a screen shot where Marchment was just parked out in front. But until that moment, I thought it was the same as we saw in Anaheim.
Yeah, I don't know if it was. I'd be curious to see if the Kings didn't score 11 seconds into the game, if the Stars would have looked like that in the first period, because they looked similar to they did in Anaheim, but it also had to be a little bit of shell shock from that goal, right? They come out, they're like, they got to imagine the message is, let's respond to that game in Anaheim. Let's really come out strong. And just like that, you're down 1-0 and chasing a team that is pretty good with the lead. So I'm imagining that was part of it, but they didn't create it all. I think shots were 10-2 midway through, 12-4 or whatever like that, with about 8 minutes left. And then all of a sudden, 1 minute left in the game, and Dallas just put the pressure on. And that shift, I put the entire clip in my article tonight because I was like, you just got to watch the clip, because you got the hustle from multiple people, Dumba and Smith both involved. You got Duchene coming off the bench. You got guys screening the goalie. You got Granlund trying to set a pick for Duchene. It just had everything in that one sequence, and that was a huge goal to at least build something out of that first 20.
You'd have thought that guys were out a couple days earlier golfing and having a couple beers and driving around on their golf carts out there on the ice.
It looked like it. But thank goodness they had that sequence, and then as the buzzer sounded, Brendan Smith dropped the gloves with Tanner Jeannot, because if they hadn't had that offensive sequence in the goal and then that scrap, I don't know what the heck we would have had to talk about other than how awful the Stars were in that period. They really sparked a much better game because of that. What'd you think of the fight between Smith and Jeannot?
I loved it. I thought on Brendan's side, and again, when the team is a little bit flat, there's times guys have to step up and do that. And whether that's what precipitated it or not, or if they talked about it, but I think from Smith's standpoint, he was probably sitting there watching the game going, man, this is not going well. And we got to spark our club somehow.
Almost a Gordie Howe Hattie from Brendan Smith in this one. I was rooting for it so hard.
Yeah, he needed the hardest part, though. He needed that goal. He did have a couple of shots in the game. Well, in the second period, it started with Stankoven had a really good chance in the slot on a turnover by Brant Clark. Good save by Rittich. But then it was this trading of goals that started with Kevin Fiala making it 2-1, his 21st of the year. And this one really came on a moment where it was unfortunate for Lian Bichsel. And I had Katya I put the photo, I made the screenshot and sent it to her. And here's what the second Kings goal looked like. And look, you got to give credit to Fiala here. That's you see that black blur up in the corner? That's the puck going short side high. He went back and forth. He had Bichsel turning around, and then he eventually shot it between the big Swiss defender's legs and beat Ottinger, who I don't think he had any idea where the puck was, into that top corner.
I think the funniest part of this whole thing was Bichsel. You can see him trying to grab Fiala's stick and just stop him in any way possible. And I believe earlier in that sequence, because Bichsel blocked that long shot right before this, went down, got up, toughed it out to get anything in this shift. But I think he tries to steal the stick from Wyatt Johnston, and Wyatt's just like, no, I need it, and just skates away from him. Like, not that stick would have done a whole lot, but at least would have been better in this scenario than nothing. But that's just such an elite shot. That reminds me a little bit of Wyatt's shot against Seattle, kind of the no angle, just put it straight up, because you can only put it in one spot right there. And Jake's down, doesn't know where it is, which is probably why he's down a little early, and he puts it between Bichsel's legs too. So just an elite shot. But what another chaotic play.
Yeah, I would hope that Bichsel will learn from this whole particular play. Because first he gets hit, right? I mean, he's wounded out there and he's flopping around on the ice. He doesn't have a stick. Fiala starts, when he comes down, first off, he starts to go behind the net. And Bichsel's trying to stay with him. And, and again, we're talking about somebody that's like 5'6" and somebody that's 6'6". So it's a tough stay. But what he needed to do is he needed to let Fiala go behind the net, because he tries to stay even up with them. Now all of a sudden he can stop on a dime. He gets back out to an area where he gets back out on his forehand, and then he uses him for a screen. But if he allows him to go behind the net, now there's really no danger back there. And then you kind of gather yourself and you keep things on the perimeter, slow things down. It's easy to say when it's all over with, but generally you don't want to be chasing like somebody like that around the ice. You want to try to get him to the least dangerous place on the ice that there is, and that's going behind the net at that particular moment.
I know I like what you're saying about letting him go. Is there, and it's hard because of how quick and nimble that Fiala is. He's able to stop really quickly and change direction. Is there any point there, Luds, where Bichel at his 6'7" frame can't just go and try to play the body and just physically try? He doesn't have a stick. Why not just try to take down Fiala, not for a penalty, but just try to, like, lead block him like an offensive lineman?
Because he doesn't have the same agility as that guy.
Yeah.
That's like nailing Jello to a tree. So he didn't have a chance there. That's what I mean. I think you just kind of contain him a little bit. You can kind of just drive him and hurt him into the net. He's not going to go into the net. He's going to slide behind the net. Now you've got some cover. You know what I mean? Like by trying to stay shoulder to shoulder with them, and then he just puts on the brakes. He steps back out. Now Fiala has him where he wants him because he uses the big man for a screen, and it's a beautiful shot. I think Jake was upset with himself. I think he felt like Fiala hesitated a little bit, and then he dropped that left shoulder. I think he wishes he kept it up.
So that's the tough thing about a 6'6" goalie playing deep in the net, is that it gives a little bit of room. If he was a little bit higher on his crease, again, maybe he gets rounded on. There's a whole bunch of things there. Well, the Stars answered back, and it was Thomas Harley scoring his 8th of the year, and it took less than a minute and a half later. And this play, which created a whole bunch of fun, started, well, this is right before it, Luds. Why don't you tell everybody how this tells the story?
Well, the big story is, forget about the breakdown, is Sam gave the info out. Bet Harley, 7.5 times your money or something like that, Sam?
6.55.
6.5. Listen to Sam, folks. On this play here, we've talked about this year with Thomas, and I've said it to nauseum for most people. He's got the best instincts of defensemen on this team. As soon as he moves the puck to Duchene, which is Duchene, you can see him on the top, on the middle of the screen over there, but he moved it to Duchene. He was probably somewhere around the hash mark area. As soon as he did that, Thomas took off, because Duchene ends up moving the puck to Ceci. Ceci's the one, you can just see him releasing the puck. And the reason I say he's got the instincts is because he sees that once Thomas gets the puck back there, and Harley's got it on, or Ceci's got it on his stick, Thomas can see that the defender that is now behind him is coming at him. So he's able to take one step, and now he loses him. Now he's just relying on Ceci to make sure the puck gets through, and then there may be some kind of a chance in front of the net, which it turns out perfect for Harley. It comes out in the right spot, and he just one-times it back into the net. But it's a good instinctive play when he sees a guy like Duchene, because he knows he's going to make the right play here or there. Harley moves it over, takes a step off. He loses his guy. Ceci does the right thing by getting it on net.
And that's hard, Sam, from the defending side of it. For Trevor Moore, who's number 12 there, who's trying to catch Harley, it's very difficult for a forward who is trying to get out and put pressure on the puck carrier, in this case it was Harley, to then stop and stay with him, because their first instinct is to turn and see where the pass is going. And in that split second where he turns to see where it's going, Harley's already beaten him behind.
See, that's the problem that I have with guys skating so fast. Just go and control. Like, there's no reason to get out to Harley that fast. You just contain him, him, you stay in front of him, and you defend from there.
Yeah, I think that's the key for on the defensive side, is just slowly approach that, right? You're going out there. You're not going out there unless he wanted to, thinking he was going to get that pass and try to go on a breakaway the other way. And that's not how you play defense. But I think if he just slowly approaches that and it keeps Harley in front of him, none of that happens. But going back to what Lud said about the instinct and why I love Thomas Harley's game so much, he reminds me of, you can relate it to basketball, lacrosse, whatever sport, but what I always think of is the football scramble drill, where you see a quarterback that's escaping the pocket, and then it's all just instinct from the receivers. And that's what Harley knows. He sees not only that the puck is going, Duchene has it down the wall, and then it goes up, but he also sees, as soon as, like Owen said, as soon as that head turns a tiny bit, Harley sees that he can make that back cut. And that's what makes offensive players elite in whatever their sport is. And that's why I think Harley is the best offensive player on this team, or offensive defenseman.
Hey, Sam, you might see that Mahomes guy doing some of that stuff.
That's what I was just thinking, eh?
Well, I can't wait for that day off, too. We got another game coming up, but up next in the post-game show, we're going to talk about, it was only 2-2. We got a lot more goals to go through. We'll do that next.
Rugged Road. Rugged Road is dedicated to creating innovative and durable outdoor gear for adventurers who demand the best. Our products are designed with the highest quality materials and craftsmanship, ensuring they perform in the toughest conditions. Whether you're on land or water, Rugged Road gear is built to accompany you on every adventure. One of the most unique features of Rugged Road is their ability to always float upright. Crafted to handle the toughest environments, their coolers are built to last, ensuring they can keep up with any adventure. The coolers are guaranteed to keep their contents cool for up to 7 days. Perfect for a variety of outdoor activities, from fishing and tubing to camping and tailgating. These coolers are designed to meet the needs of every outdoor or sports enthusiast. So gear up for your next adventure with Rugged Road coolers. Reliable, durable, and built to be used. Rugged Road is your ultimate outdoor companion. Head to ruggedroadoutdoors.com and use code DLLS for 10% off.
Yeah, it's right. We got more Sleeper for the 19th time tonight. Sleeper, I'm going to change it a little bit. I'm going to skip this first line that we say all the time. Put your ball or puck knowledge to the test by picking whether your favorite or least favorite or any player has more or less than their projected stats each game or each week. Tonight, I picked Mr. Thomas Harley to score a goal for 6.55 times your money. If you didn't pick it, you're stupid. Listen to me. With Sleeper, the more picks you combine, the more you can win, all the way up to 100 times your money. Sleeper keeps you in the loop with instant alerts for breaking news and major injuries. Stay ahead of the game, keep track of league updates in real time, and outsmart your friends at every turn. You saw the pregame if you were there. It's really easy, super cool to go through, select your picks, do your ticket, and submit it, and then watch what you can win later that night. If you think you have what it takes, new users can download the Sleeper app and use the code DLLS stars to get $55 in free entries when you place a $5 contest. Apply it to any contest, doesn't have to be your first. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today.
All right, guys.
From the bathroom, folks.
Hey,
yeah,
Owen,
we can hear your echo.
Owen, you know what the bigger mistake that our partner there forgot to mention is if you actually pick it, but you don't put any money down and bet it.
So he has nothing to show for it.
Right, Sam?
Is that worse than not listening to Sam? Is that Sam didn't actually hit send on his ticket?
I could be lying to you guys.
He could be.
You don't know how to lie. It's that halo above you. You don't know how to lie.
No, that's just the shower curtain.
It's the shower. Right. That's the water dripping from the ceiling of the shower.
Oh man! All right, let's get back to this, guys, because we have a ton of chats to get to, and hopefully a bunch of super chats, because look, it's Stars After Dark. It's late, but you know what? Instead of a Tuesday night, it's a Friday night. Well, now it's into Saturday, so people don't have to go to bed so early. They don't have to work as much the next day. So stay up with us and let's have some fun. The 2-2 game became 3-2 in the second period when Alex Lafreniere, not Alex Lafreniere from the Rangers, but Lafreniere scored on a rebound. This was a weird one, Luds, because Byfield's one-timer from the left point missed wide, but Jake got lost on this play. What the heck happened?
Yeah, it comes off the boards weird for him. So whether he got spun around and it comes out between him and the net, and it was just one of those weird kind of bounces. But, you know, for me, it started earlier out just inside the blue line. Matt Dumba he just stops his feet. He stops his feet out there. And when he does, now all of a sudden you're on the outside looking in. And that's why as he gets back to the front of the net, guess who's standing there to tap the puck in? That's the problem, is you kind of take a second off and you don't sense a lot of danger. The puck moves away from you. But there's another player on the other team that continues to work. And when Dumba stopped his feet, Ferrier steps past him, and now he beats him to the front of the net for an easy tap-in again.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel for Jake. He didn't seem to track the puck super well tonight, but that was a weird play. I mean, he looked baffled by how that hit, because it looks like it deflects off him a little bit, and then somehow it's going back towards behind the net and comes out into the crease. So that was a really weird play, but Jake looked a little bit out of sorts at times tonight. Looked a little bit like he wasn't seeing it. I know a couple pucks hit the crossbar and he didn't even react to him. So feel for him, because this is obviously going to be his last start before he heads off to Four Nations.
He's mentally strong. This isn't going to sit with him in any other way other than to motivate him a little bit. But here's the thing. It's a 3-2 lead for the Kings. Laferriere had a one-timer on a cross-ice pass that Otter made a really good save. It could have been 4-2 at the end of the period. Then, after Oscar Beck hit the post on the first shot of the third period, Adrian Kempe missed a wide-open net that he pushed wide right. Otter didn't see it. Nobody defensively knew he was there. They played it out in front. He should have scored. He didn't. But then this happened, and Luds, this really could be the reason why the Stars ended up with a point tonight, because if this puck goes in, they're down 4-2 early in the third, and that might be pack it up and go to San Jose. I want you guys to take a look at this picture. There's actually a 2-picture sequence that I sent to Katya. Let's start with the first one where it looks like the Kings have a 3-on-0 rush, and it's unbelievable that when you see the first shot, if Kat's still there, that you can even believe that this doesn't end up with a shot on goal, let alone
She fell asleep.
one in the net. Well, maybe we just have to keep going without it. There are, as I said, she also sent us a private message, so I don't know what's going on. Oh, I don't have that one. She said, hold on. She's working on it. That's okay. But anyway, I can describe this without it. They turn the puck over. It looks like a 2-on-1. A third player's in the rush, and Thomas Harley gets on his horse and somehow gets over and breaks up the pass to Byfield when it looked like he had a backdoor tap in on that rush. Luds, one thing about it was, from a Kings perspective, I don't think they moved the puck quick enough when they had either 2-on-0 or 3-on-0. They waited to try for that last ditch sort of post-to-post play. But this is a phenomenal defensive effort by Harley.
That's what I mean about not quitting on a play. Thomas comes back. He's got a long reach, and that extra length that he has is the reason that he was able to just extend himself and get enough of that puck to tip it past him.
It's cool to see Harley kind of pivot too at the blue line, like the angle they showed. I think they showed one behind the Jake on the replay, and Harley is full speed ahead when that puck gets turned over, and instead of kind of swooping around and doing the old beer league turnaround, he pivots real quick and puts on the Jets. Man, that was a really good play. And the Kings were going for that NHL 24 backdoor tap in goal where you wait to the very last second for the goal. I think they could have definitely moved that one or two times a little earlier.
Oh, she got it.
There she is.
Look at this. If I showed you that first picture and said this did not lead to a shot on goal, you'd say, what the heck happened? Did he lose an edge and fall down? Did somebody shoot him from the third row? And then here's Harley getting a stick in on Byfield, breaking up what should have been a one-timer goal from 10 feet, 7 feet from the net. I mean, that's a phenomenal defensive play.
Yeah, Luds, I was just going to ask, it looked almost like Harley kind of delayed. Once he got back, he kind of delays a little bit. I think you and I talked a lot about this in the preseason, where you sometimes have to wait to make your stick lift or make your play. Is he get there and then waiting to make sure when that puck comes across, he gets the stick lift, and instead of trying to get tied up with earlier than that?
Well, what would happen probably is that he doesn't make the pass. He may say that he's getting back, and then he takes the shot. And you're trying to bait him. I mean, I don't know in that specific instance, he's just in desperation to get back. But a lot of times you don't show that you're there because you want him to make that pass, because you know that you can reach in there and you can get your stick in the lane. Otherwise, if you put it in there too early, sometimes the guy that has the puck will just take the shot.
So that kept it 3-2. And that was really important because the next goal that went in was Mavrik Bourque that tied it. If Byfield scores there, they still have the lead, but Bourque goes to the net. Boy, David Rittich was just spitting back rebounds all night. Ben throws it to the net from the left circle. Bourque goes down Main Street. And Letty, you said it. This looked like a game where players were thinking about that all-star break. There were a lot of missed assignments, and there were a lot of charging to loose pucks. I don't think either goalie was at their best tonight.
Yeah, it was a scrambly game. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, it looks like, and let me tell you, these aren't the only two teams that are feeling this way.
No,
we talked about it all season long so far. The compressed schedule, everybody has it. They're circling. They've already got their flights. The guys that aren't going in the tournament, and they're going on vacation. It's hard, and even the guys that are going, they're getting excited. They're getting ready to go, and they want to go to Boston and go play these games. And so it's hard. It's kind of like when the All-Star break's coming up. Same thing. It'll be when the Olympic break's coming up. It's hard to not look forward to it.
Kat, do you have the tweet that I sent you of this? I just wanted to see further Jamie Benn staying on side on that play. I don't know if we have it. Look at this play.
And he was offside.
Yeah, he was.
He
was
back
passed,
to that.
Comes back right as it's crossing, and that, I mean, if you look close, it's like the heel of his skate blade that is touching that blue line. I just thought that was an incredible effort by Ben. And as you said, this sequence of not letting LA, or getting lucky that LA didn't convert on those glorious chances, and then this goal really gave the Stars a point in this game.
So that made it 3-3. Less than 3 minutes later, Matt Duchene scored his second of the night, this time from the right circle, beating Rittich, low blocker. Second goal of the night. Matt Duchene now with 20 goals on the year. He had an assist for his 500th career NHL assist. So a 3-point game for Duchene. And this was big for him because he'd been a little quiet over the last few games.
Yeah, to me, I looked at Rittich and I watched his head. I felt like he gave Doughty the stink eye on this one.
Think?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of because when your head kind of follows the player that, that was kind of screening him, because Doughty kind of spreads himself out and he gives a lot of space between his legs for Matt to, to find that hole through there. And I just find it odd that Rittich would stare down a future Hall of Famer. But,
Well, the Stars should have, that was their only lead of the night, 4-3. They should have had a 2-goal lead as Hintz found Robertson backdoor. And this is uncharacteristic because Jason Robertson only needs a half a chance to score a goal. And this time he shot it back into the pad of Rittich. It didn't go in. And then Kopitar goes to the crease and Kempe's shot goes in off his legs. And it's 4-4. And look, the rules about being in the crease, Luds, have changed a lot since you won your second Stanley Cup.
Yeah. You're welcome, guys. Yeah, no, I mean, you want the goals to go up. I mean, not me. I mean, talk to Brett Hull about that one. So, yeah, I mean, I love it that you can go there now, and all this, the crease stuff. And everybody's clamoring for more goals and goals. And it seems like we're trying to get a little nitpicky at times like this. But it's exciting for the fans. It's exciting for the players. So lead changes and the chaos and the powwows at the penalty box and the waiting to see if there's goals and all the other things that come along with it.
They got to
totally
maybe
agree.
do some more. Goals are down this year. They got to maybe get rid of even more rules.
Yeah.
So it's 4-4 after the Kopitar goal. And look, we gave both goalies some stink about not necessarily being at their best, but that save that Jake made on Kempe's breakaway after the Stars turned the puck over and almost got caught for too many men on the ice, and he raced in, that was a huge save. That wins the game for LA in regulation if Jake doesn't come up with that save.
He made, I think I just said before, he didn't track it very well. He made 4 or 5 saves in the final minutes and as well in overtime that really saved the game for Dallas. I mean, they fell a couple of times and swung a few times at air as Kings guys skated past them, and he really made a few key ones at the end.
Well, let's talk about 3-on-3 overtime, because I thought the Kings were the better team in 3-on-3. Stars had a couple chances. They could have won one. I thought Wyatt had a decent look. Duchene had one, Hintz as well, but the Kings had more. The first one was Drew Doughty he cut back on the left side and he got the defender to go past him and he just missed the net. Should have probably at least tested Jake Ottinger. It was a great look, but then they keep the puck and they set up Fiala and he scores a one-timer and we think that's it. Hold on. They're going to review this. And Drew Doughty does the drive-by, but he gets into the crease and makes contact. Now, I don't think there was a lot of contact, and I've seen plays that I think have bbeen more of goalie interference not given, so I was a little nervous, but the longer that review went on, the more I realized we got more hockey. I actually like the way they adjudicated this rule. I think that's the right call, but There's been times where they keep saying, like Luds, they'll say, we want the goalie to fight through the contact. So then you sit there and go, well, wait a minute. What the heck? Do you like the call?
Yeah, I do. Who was the Stars player with him? Who was with him going through there? I'm
I
glad
don't
you
even
two guys.
remember.
I feel bad. I can't remember, but regardless,
Yeah, I can't remember. I'll find it right now for you.
I honestly, I thought that there was one angle. I thought they were looking at it, going, "Yeah, he kind of got helped in there. Like he wouldn't have gone through the crease." And
Oh, it was
but no,
Duchene.
who was it?
Duchene.
Duchene. Okay. Yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, I think I could have, if it would have went the other way, I couldn't have disagreed because it felt like there was a little rub, or you know, not much, but I think I was just kind of going, well, it's going to be okay either way.
Well, then Doughty had, as they took the goal off the board, they had a little bit of time left in overtime, and Doughty
Stars
almost
came
scored
back
again.
from the room.
I mean, he had an open shot falling down right before the buzzer. He missed wide. So we go to a shootout, and this isn't the way it usually goes. Kempe scored, Fiala scored, Robo had it. He had Riddick right where he wanted him, and he just missed his spot. And then Duchene got caught. And I just wonder, I know guys are competitive. Maybe it's nothing, but David Riddick did quite the celebration in the face of Matt Duchene. Luddy, that's a video clip for me for the next time they meet.
I was wondering if there was something from the past. You know, I mean, was there anything with those guys from the past, or maybe Duchene had said something on one of his 2 goals tonight or something like that?
Maybe with Duchene. If not, the only thing I can think of, do you guys remember when David Riddick played for the Calgary Flames and the Stars went up there and beat him, I think in overtime, and he wanted a goalie interference call, didn't get it, and he had a fit meltdown temper tantrum at the end of the game. I'll never forget that. I think Jamie was involved with that one. So I just wonder, but you're right, Luds, you might be right. It might not be that far back. It might just be the fact that Duchene scored on him twice.
Yeah, I got nothing to say. I don't remember what you were just talking about. I know nothing else.
Well, that's good because we have Stars After Dark super chats. We already have 6. Keep them coming. Keep Luds going. Luds wants to stop.
We don't have anything else to talk about. We're done with the game. Let's get super chats going.
We have a lot to talk about. We'll do that next here on DLLS.
We've got the perfect gift for the passionate sports fan in your life. Perhaps you've heard of Ice Shakers. Ice Shaker is now officially licensed with the NFL, NHL, NBA, NCAA, and MLB, and will make the ideal gift. Created and used by the Gronkowski brothers, Ice Shakers has sold over 1 million bottles. They have changed the game with workout bottles, and this is the bottle you've been looking for. Kitchen-grade stainless steel bottles that won't absorb odor like the plastic bottles do. Patented twist agitator that breaks up powders, but is silent when you shake it instead of that annoying ball. The agitator works as a strainer as well and makes a very solid tailgating cup, I guess when you want to mix some drinks on the back of your truck or something like that. So order your team branded bottles today at iceshaker.com and use the code ALLCITY25 for 25% off your order. Ice Shakers.
All right, let's talk about game time. The Super Bowl is coming up on Sunday. Hey, we get a day off too after a long week of California games. What will you do? Well, you could use Game Time and maybe try to get a ticket. Now, it probably won't be cheap, but you know you'll get your best deal possible. Use Game Time Picks. That makes getting tickets for events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. You can get all-in pricing, toggle that feature, and you will see the upfront cost, no surprise fees when you go to checkout. You can see panoramic view of your seat in the app before you can buy. And of course, it's the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code DLLS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Can I ask one or bring one thing up before we get to super chats?
Go for it. I don't know. Can you?
I was sitting there talking to Luds right before we signed on here and saying, I don't feel like Jake is great at shootouts. So I just looked it up, and this really surprises me. According to NHL records, of goalies that have taken 40 shots against in the shootout in their career, Jake is 12th overall. of all
Why
goalies.
would you say that he's not good at shootouts?
I just felt like he got beat a lot, and when the Stars won their shootouts, it was like 2-1 or 3-2 or the longer ones. But
Oh my
it might
God,
have just been my eye thing. I'm totally wrong.
it's you.
Totally wrong.
It's definitely
Admitting it.
you.
I mean, this is obviously before tonight, but he was 757 overall save percentage. That's
It's
very
really good. No,
I salute and say I'm completely wrong on that one.
I think he's a hell of a competitor, and I think he likes going toe to toe with players one on one. He seems to relish that. So there you go.
Surprise me.
You know what I relish?
I don't know.
Milk.
Ketchup, hot dogs.
Yeah, what are you popping open over there?
Yeah, I can hear it. He's refilling. All right.
I wish you were making a hot dog right now. Just pouring mustard
Katya,
over it.
if you would please save us from all this nonsense and let's get right to it.
Hot dogs.
All right. First super chat of the night is going to belong to our buddy Ardell with a little Bishel and Duchene. Look at that. A little 95. I like it. DLLS Stars Luddy's damn Discord was the man of the match tonight. If you're not a diehard yet, I don't know why you wrote hard twice. Hard. You're missing out. Stars fans are mighty. Sam, you were texting during the game that the Discord was wild tonight.
Yeah. That's the first time I've tried to really keep up because John's usually in there. So I usually leave that and I check in once in a while. But I was looking at it and they go off. We even have I forget if it was Ardell or T Farmer, someone checking in while they're with their significant other and they were supposed to be watching with them. And every break they would come and try to panic and write everything they could. It's a real fun time. And I think it's a very underrated part of being a diehard.
Oh, look at this. Gallagher Champ said Die Hard is the inner circle of diehards. How about that? So we always talk about this, and I'll talk about it in our next commercial break. If you want to be in the chat like we do for the pregame, postgame, and podcast, you have to be a diehard because that's the only way you get access to the Discord. And if you want to chat with your fellow diehards during a Stars game, Letty, just take a nap for a minute. We'll get back to it. That's how you do it, is the Discord, the damn Discord channel. And that's where these diehard hearts can go crazy. All right, let's go to the next one.
Bing bang.
All right, the next one goes to Talk Hockey with Me. That's Jordan. A little Heiskanen and 99 cup here. Was hoping for a Duchene Hattie, but will gladly welcome a point tonight playing a good LA team. Hope a break brings us some healthy players. Go Stars.
See, I agree with that. LA's a good team. This wasn't, it's not like Dallas played that poorly. They weren't on top of their game, but LA, what was it coming into tonight? 16-3-1 at home. So they're a good club and they're playing well at home, and they could be a tough out here when it comes playoff time.
Yeah, I actually think they're a very good team, and I know that they've gone through some ups and downs but getting Drew Doughty back after missing the first 47 games of the season, Luds, there are not many teams that can add a future Hall of Famer who can still come back in and play, as you said, play his way into shape for the Four Nations tournament. We know Petrangelo's not going there, so we all assume that Doughty's going to be picked by Hockey Canada to play. That guy is amazing, isn't he?
He plays with an edge, not the edge where he's sticking people and things, but he plays with fire every shift that he plays. He competes every single shift. He gives you everything that he can. I feel like from shift to shift, he doesn't take it off, and he's been doing it for a long time.
Was he hurt in the preseason? He didn't play a regular season game, right?
No,
That's what I thought.
yes.
That's crazy.
All right, let's go to the next one from T Farmer, a little Heiskanen and 99 cup here. Kings are a very well-oiled machine. That is a beast to play against. I'll take the point. What team would Dumba fit on that is rebuilding and fast? And what's funny? I actually saw a couple of tweets tonight saying that the analytics suggest that Dumba's actually been better in the last couple of games since the injury to Miro Heiskanen. I know a lot of people were upset about the goals against. What'd you guys think of Matt Dumba's play tonight?
Got an assist. How about the goal? Duchene assisted from Dumba and Brendan Smith, just like we all anticipated. I thought he was better. He got beat on the goal that we talked about before with LaFerriere. I don't remember if he was on the ice for another goal against, but I think he he looks less. There was one or two. I don't know if you saw Luds. One of them when he tries to stand a guy up at the blue line, and the guy kind of just completely dances away from him, and he dives at him like he's trying to tackle him. So there's a couple here and there, but I think overall there are fewer mistakes with the puck, which I think is the biggest issue for him sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that's something that they probably had conversations with. We want you to get it, move it, advance it as quick as possible, and and defend. And I think there's just that one or two bobbles during the game mentally, not with the puck. There's just like on the goal, and where he just stops skating against Laferriere, and if he continues to battle with him, keeps him in control, regardless of the bounce that caught Jake off guard, that player doesn't get to the front of the net. You can't take a shift off.
All right, let's go to the next one. It's a DeSmith and 99 cup here from Reed Thomas, who said, just want to say Vegas still sucks.
Fair.
All right. I mean,
very fair.
I mean, look, you understand why, right? It's a rivalry, and then the stone play on Heiskanen and Miro being hurt now. Finland's probably very upset that they don't have Miro for this Four Nations tournament because he's supposed to be their number one. I mean, he is their number one. Let's not say he's supposed to be. And yeah, guess what? Vegas is in second place in the Pacific. They're behind Edmonton, who's been really good lately. I think those pesky Kings, guys, I was talking about it at the pregame show. LA now tonight, 21 home games of the season. They've had a lot of home games down the stretch. They've won, what is it, Letty? 17 now out of 21. That's ridiculous. Best record in the league at home as far as point percentage wise. They're going to be a problem. And if they get some home games, it's not going to be an easy building to play in.
Yeah, I'm sure they're talking about that. They want to keep stacking them on each other, and regardless of whether they catch anybody at the top, probably not. But they're going to be a tough out. That's what I said. They want to be at home when they start the playoffs.
Yeah, they're now 4 points behind Vegas for that second spot. So.
And they still have 3 games in hand. Let's go to the next one. It's Jordan again. Talk hockey with me at DeSmith 99. Obligatory Pavelski mention.
Bing.
Cat was ready.
If I heard it.
Well, it's probably harder to hear when you're in a bathroom.
That's true. Hello. No, I can hear pretty good.
Hey, Sam, don't fall in.
Bing bang.
Oh, we have another one from our GM, Ben, another DeSmith 99 cup here. How many Kendrick Lamar songs does Luds know?
Does Luds know who Kendrick Lamar is?
Not at all.
There it is.
I thought we were talking to Lamar Odom.
How many Lamar Odom songs do you know?
0. He doesn't. Does Lamar do any tracks? I don't think he does.
I know he was married to one of the Kardashians.
Yep. See, look at that.
Because you used to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good show.
Since GM Ben did a super chat, I think we have to mention that the boss had a good night tonight, and it wasn't just the Crown and Coke photo he sent to us in the chat earlier tonight. It's Sleeper, and now he's offering to do whatever the heck he wants to be a part of this. Sam, what does that say? Because you're more familiar with this app than I am.
Man.
I've got to learn it more.
It's so small. All I know is he bet $1 and he ended up winning $15.55 for having his ticket with I can't see all the different small things, but Wyatt Johnston, Granlund, Robertson, Kempe, and Hintz.
So
and
it's let's
like
see. Wyatt's more than 2.5 shots on goal. Granlund more than 1.5 shots on goal. Robertson more than 2.5 shots on goal. Kempe more than 2.5 shots on goal, and Hintz more than 1.5. So he went all shots. He went more than on all of them, and he hit on all 5.
He wasn't listening to the pregame. He could have had a Thomas Harley goal to cap that all off, eh?
This is all about $15 right now. Is that what we're doing?
That's what he was doing.
That's what he's doing. He's bragging about it that he won $15. Send Sean to Dallas with those $15.
I don't want to see the airline that he can afford
it's
$15.
the same one I went on.
No, there's no way that's the case. Hey, remember how you were making fun of your audio from the Locked On podcast visit you made? Ardell asked a question. He said Sam was ripping butt darts on Locked On.
Yeah, I take full full responsibility. It was happening before we signed on here, before we started the show here tonight too. So I may be taking a trip to the Apple Store tomorrow, which is the fun times. Unless you guys just want it all year, we can just get some bubbles going on back here too.
Oh, here we
Oh, yeah,
go. Do it
we're
again.
getting.
Oh, look at him.
This is what my bathroom normally looks like when I get in the shower. Party time.
Ardell just called you gastric distress Sam. That is a great Men in Black reference if you don't know. All right. Thank you very much for the super chats. That was awesome. We have more to come. What is, oh, Jesus. Yes.
Got it right here just in case.
All right. Up next, more craziness as we try to get to the obligatory time frame before Luddy falls asleep, gets mad, or walks off the set here on DLLS. I'm going to talk about being a diehard while the other two yokels try to figure out what direction the QR code is and whether their screen matches up with the one that everyone else is watching. On my screen, you guys are pointing at each other, and it's hilarious.
We are on mine, too. Lud's is pointing towards me on mine.
I should take a picture and show you guys how ridiculous, because it's actually over here.
That's right there.
Well,
you want me to point at Sam?
Now it's on my screen. It's always different.
Now it's Sam's. Apple.
Well, I'm telling you, you should be a diehard for a multitude of reasons. One, I was very fortunate on Thursday night. So technically it was yesterday, but now it's Saturday. I got the chance to go to the first DLLS watch party at Cosm over at Grandscape in the Colony. Actually, when I had seen videos of Cosm on social media, I didn't actually know it was at Grandscape. So that's actually pretty convenient from where I live, right on the, McKinney-Frisco line, only a 20, 25-minute ride down the Sam Rayburn Tollway. And there we were at Cosm. And the Mav show was there. And we had Jesse from our Cowboy show, although because he didn't go to New Orleans, he's on the Mav show right now. And Ben was there. And we, of course, had our social media director, Abby, and Elijah, who is our producer for our baseball show, and then a bunch of diehards and a bunch of other people. And it is a cool experience. I tell you what, Luds, we watched this whole basketball game. And then when the game ended and the Mavericks beat the Celtics,
wow,
John wouldn't have been happy about that.
No,
they showed a brief preview of what other sports look like on this big dome screen, which is like watching an IMAX movie, but live. And they showed clips from the Panthers Edmonton Oilers Stanley Cup final. And I tell you what, oh, buddy, we got to get a hockey game in there.
Let's go do that. I want to do that for a hockey game for sure. That looks super cool.
Sam, GM Ben said it's Stars After Dark. Do the last segment from inside the shower.
I was going to sit on the edge of the shower, but it's really uncomfortable. And I figured my bum would be sore.
I will tell you this, though. We have to get Ben to set up a DLLS Stars watch party at Cosm. It will be, even the 30-second clip we saw of it, they had shots of basically it's like you're behind the goal, but the camera's on the inside of the glass. So you don't even see the boards in front of you. And then they had another shot from like center ice. Luddy, it was basically from your broadcast position at the AAC, and you could see both nets. It's a really cool thing. There's 3 levels, so you can sit in the third deck, the middle, or down on the floor. We were up on the third, which I actually think that might be the best seat. Very worth it. Fun to meet some diehards. And, of course, a great reason for you to hit that QR code and sign up.
Lud's going to be up there getting up on the screen trying to draw on it with a marker. Here's what went wrong on this play. See, the player went the wrong direction.
Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to get him
a one-on-one. We'll do a one-on-one thing right after. We'll go through the goals again.
Luddy, we need a laser pointer.
Marker. Yeah,
laser pointer. You up there pointing it out? It would be phenomenal.
That'd be hilarious.
I'm good.
So that was it. Make sure you go to the website, alldlls.com. Click on Die Hard. Use the QR code that we showed you earlier. Sign up today. You get a host of benefits, and that's one of them. T Farmer Cosm meetup. I would sell my tickets to the game. That's if it's a Stars home game. See, typically you do it when the Stars are on the road, right? Hey,
I couldn't.
Hey, Ben. GM Ben said, I've looked, no Stars game on the schedule. I swear Cosm sent me an email after the game last night and said, let's see.
Prove it.
March
Chug,
26th.
chug.
No. March 26th. Stars at Edmonton Oilers,
Oh,
which is a Wednesday night, end of March.
Let's sell it out.
We should be doing that one.
that's an easy one.
I'm
It's
telling
the
you.
Oilers.
And Allie, it's against the Oilers. How fun would that be? All right. Let's wrap things up here with some silliness and whatever else you want to do. We'll start with the serious one. Man of the match tonight, Leds.
For Dallas, I'm going Matt Duchene. I mean, I thought he was back to where we see him. I think him and his little partner there are getting back on the same page again, and Mason Marchment. But I don't know. Kevin Fiala popped out at me tonight too. Kind of all over the place. So I'll take one from each club.
Sam?
All right. Well, I had Fiala, and for the Stars, I had Duchene. So I'm going to go with Brendan Smith with a big, almost Gordie Howe hat trick as my third pick, so that I have something different.
You know who the problem was tonight? Fiala had a goal. He had a shootout goal. It's Adrian Kempe. He was
great.
all over the ice. He's so fast. I think he had 10 scoring chances. He scored a goal. He had a shootout goal. That guy's a problem. And I can understand why he's playing on the top line along with Kopitar. Those two know each other really, really well. That's a heck of a line. Luddy, I thought it was really interesting during the game. They were talking about how these two teams sort of remind you of each other because neither one has the kind of line that features a Nate McKinnon, Connor McDavid type, the astronomical superstars. They have some great talent, but there's depth there. There's balance. We didn't even see their best goalie in Darcy Kemper. I think this is a pretty comparable team to the Dallas Stars, if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about the sum of its parts. It's not about having a Draisaitl and McKinnon, like you said, and McDavid and Makar and the superstars, although they all scored tonight, I think, in the game that they played each other.
Everybody scored in that game.
Yeah. I think, and again, if you're able to, when you look at those kind of teams, and again, it's not easy to do, but if you can go in and you're playing Edmonton and somehow you can shut down either Draisaitl or McKinnon, Draisaitl or McDavid, and then the other club you can shut down on Makar or McKinnon, you have a good chance of winning that series. Whereas when you're kind of going up against the whole team that kind of comes at you, it's overwhelming to have those kind of clubs that just keep on coming.
How about that trade? I know it's early, but Rantanen struggling like crazy.
Well, they're all over them. They're talking about trading them now, Sam.
Because they have to. Otherwise they're going to have to pay him $13-14 million in the summer.
Well, so they can let him walk.
Yeah, they can let him walk, but that's like you're going to lose that for nothing. I mean, that Natchez, I think, scored again tonight.
He scored tonight.
5 goals and
he got the game winner.
It's crazy how that turned out. Everyone giving crap to the other side, and it's Colorado that's looking better right now.
I just found in my DLLS email the thing that Cosm sent me afterwards last night.
DLLS email too?
I almost sent you the link to this,
yes,
to your DLS, and then I was like, there's no way he's going to see that.
This is why you're not on the Slack channel, because we have to get you into your DLS email to find the invite to Slack. Get that, and then connect it with your phone, and then you'll be good to go. Until that point, yeah.
I don't think he even signed up to get a paycheck yet. I don't think Luds even gets paid.
By the way, Sam, did you want to tease Luds about something email related?
I just wanted to ask Luds if he knew that he still has an AOL.com email.
I don't know how to change it.
I just thought that was hilarious. Kat was like, can you send the link? And I was like, yeah, sure. I typed in, first of all, it's Taz, which I still don't fully understand your Twitter or your email, but it says at AOL.com. And I was like, oh man, I remember the good old days, 7th grade, your AOL email, you get on AIM.
What happens when you change it? How do people find you ever again? Not that I care about that much either, but what do you do?
Yeah, at this point you don't. Yeah, at this point you don't. It's just like 20 years ago when AOL went away, you figured that you would have changed it, but I love it. I thought it was
hilarious. How many funerals I'll miss getting invited to if I changed it?
That's true. And that's important that was the first thing you thought of.
Yeah.
See, the thing is that when Sam thinks AOL, he still thinks of like a floppy disk being sent in the mail or a CD where you can like download free minutes on AOL. Do you remember that dial-up? You're not that young.
I remember I was that young. I was right on the edge of that, and then it went into AOL Instant Messenger and all the good times, man. I peaked at that time. AIM was my peak years. I crushed it on AIM.
We can't argue that. That was about 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
Are all these people seeing what Kat's putting up there? Or is she sending that to us? Anybody else?
No, those are her private chats.
Are they? So I shouldn't read them?
No, you should. It says private chat. That's for us, not for the public.
Can I look at that on the YouTube?
I mean, she said you can. If you'd like to read them out loud, I'm sure that you can break the fourth wall.
Oh, I want to read it. There's so many of them.
I don't know where you guys are seeing them. You guys got a whole list there? What are you staring at?
There's a if you click chat on the bottom of your screen, you can see all of our little private chat. I didn't even know this was here.
Nothing on the bottom of my screen says chat.
So this is just me and Katya having a conversation over the course of the broadcast while you guys are oblivious.
I legitimately didn't know it was here.
My favorite thing, Luds, is that she did write the comment, Luds works for beer.
Yes, he does.
Which is a true statement.
Yes, they're pointing at each other.
I don't think we consider that work.
So anyway, I found the email from Cosm and I sent it to our GM, Ben, and it did indeed, guys, say just added. I'm literally looking at it right now. I can't show it to you, but it says just announced events, March 26th at 7 p.m. Stars at Oilers.
Well, how do we get this thing rolling here?
Well, GM Ben, right here. I'm going to start sending out CD-ROMs for 30 free hours of DLLS live streams. He knows what we're talking about with AOL.
Perfect. I'll burn them.
But that's how, Luds. You need to start harassing Ben with everything you got until he relents and says, "Yep, we've got it. We've got it booked."
Don't we need some fans to be there? Don't we need some
Well, yeah, but once we get it settled, then our diehards will buy tickets and they'll join us and we can all hang out. By the way, so let me just tell you this. Not that we always are going to do a watch along at Cosm, but they have a menu there, right, Luds? So you can order apps. GM Ben was ordering appetizers for the different diehard tables. So he was spending his own money hooking people up with wings, brisket fries,
good food,
flatbread pizzas. Yes, very good. I had a really good Wagyu cheeseburger with fries. I even, because I like my desserts, ordered a little churros with chocolate dipping sauce too. It was fun.
Ooh.
And Luds, they have a full bar.
I've already checked into that part.
I had a feeling that you did some research.
Well, one of my kids was over there. One of my kids had sent me a picture and a video of it a few months ago that he was there. Like actually right when it opened up or whenever that was. So he said it was very cool.
Yeah, it's a really neat experience. Basketball was fun. I really enjoyed myself, but I don't think that the court is big enough to really utilize what that screen space is. You need a hockey rink, soccer field, football field, the big wide, so you get the experience of seeing when, like at a stadium, when you go and you can see everything, even the stuff that's off camera. That's the coolest thing about that. So I think seeing a hockey game where you can see like both ends of the ice instead of just where the game camera is would be really, really fun. So I highly recommend it. This is about that time, though, where I have to say thank you to everyone for watching on our television platforms who joined us tonight. Make sure you like and subscribe here on the pod and check out alldlls.com. Okay, back to the show. And the final thing that we have for tonight, if I can get back to my screen, I lost my cursor, Luds, just like it happens to you. I don't know where it went. I can't even see you guys now, so I'm just going to have to do this blind for a minute.
I'm still in the bathroom, don't worry.
Well, you can see me. I just can't see you because it's blocked by my read. I don't know where it went. Oh, I know why, because I had the other monitor plugged in. That's why. We have a game tonight. That's right. It's Saturday. It's 1:30 in the morning. We have a game tonight in San Jose. I know. Well, it's not right now, but you can go to bed for a little while.
Okay.
So start with Luds, and we'll wrap this one up. San Jose Sharks. So hopefully the Dallas Stars continue to have better success against San Jose than they do against the two teams from Southern California, because they have not done well against Anaheim and LA. Your thoughts about this second night of a back-to-back with the Sharks having played yesterday, they have 1 day of rest. Stars having to fly north and play tomorrow night. And the distractions of knowing vacation is around the corner.
I don't look at a distraction for tomorrow, and the reason for that is you leave on this road trip. There's 6 points available. You didn't have that done in game one. You grab one tonight. They're going to talk about, again, if you can, you play 650, 700 hockey at home and you play 500 on the road, it results in a really good season.
Yep.
So, with all things considered, again, the schedule that they'd had to deal with, what's coming up here, and guys are going to be on planes the next day, probably heading to a beach or something like that.
Yeah.
I think they've got some interior motivation there to finish this part of the season out the right way.
And it's that last game for me. Like it's that last rep or that last whatever it is before you get a break is always a little easier than the one where you're looking at, we have 1, 2, 3 games or 3 periods or whatever. They have 60 minutes to put out everything they have, and then they go right on a break. I think that's a motivator to get 3 points out of a trip, like you said, Luds, that has been far from perfect.
I'm going to ask you guys this in the pregame show tomorrow, but we'll do it now just to give sort of a preview teaser. How big of a deal is this game for the two guys that just got traded to Dallas, Mikael Granlund and Cody Ceci, going back to San Jose?
I would say I don't know. You know what? I don't know if it's earth shattering for these guys. They've only been gone.
This isn't like Pavelski going back to San Jose.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's not like that. I don't think it's that big a deal, to be honest with you. I don't think this is something that I think they were probably happy to get out of that. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Just they wanted to get
they want to win
some postseason hockey. And so I think they're pleasantly pleased at where they're at right now. And, let's just put a period on this organization tomorrow night.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm just looking up the Granlund played 80 something games for San Jose over 2 years, and CC played 54 this year. So not a huge one for them, but big one to go in, and they'll probably get a nice little thank you, quick wave and maybe get 2 points.
All right, guys, I'm going to have the sign off be this because it's perfect and you couldn't have scripted it any better. So Kat, if you would go to Allie's last chat that she just put up, I have to read this for everybody. And this is how we say goodnight from a 5-4 Stars shootout loss in LA. Allie wrote, "Guys, I'm many drunks in with a dog fin my lap. Pretty sure I convinced dog to be a Stars fan."
Oh, wait. Well, hang on. Allie, I'm many drinks in.
I'm many drunks in as well.
And my dog's over on my lap.
Yes.
Look at that.
I
Beautiful.
love it. That is it for Luds, for Sam, for Kat. I'm Owen. Thanks for joining us. We're here tomorrow, but it's 8:30, not 9, so don't be late for the pregame show. Stars and Sharks to wrap up before the Four Nations tournament here on DLLS. Good night, everyone.